Hello everyone, today we'll discuss about the origin and evolution of the earth. First we'll see about the origin of the earth. The theories are categorized into two types, early theories and the modern theories. The early theories are regarding the origin of the earth. The different philosophers and the scientists have given the large number of hypotheses regarding the origin of the earth. One of the earlier and the popular argument was given by the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. Have introduced the nebula hypothesis. The nebula hypothesis is considered that the planets were made up of the clouds of the material which is associated with the youthful sun, and it was slowly rotating, and later it was revised by the mathematician called Lipset in 1796. Later in 1900, the Chamberlain and the Moulton considered that a wandering star approached the sun. As a result, cigar-shaped extension of a material was separated from the solar surface. And later, as the passing star moved away, the material separated from the solar surface, and that continued to revolve around the sun, and it is slowly condensed into the planets. Sir James Jeans and Harold Jeffrey supported this argument. And later comes the binary theories. The argument considered of a companion to the sun to have been coexisting. And later in 1950, Otto Schmidt in Russia and Carl Weizsäcker in Germany have revised the nebula hypothesis, and they considered that the sun was surrounded by the solar nebula that containing the mostly of the hydrogen and helium, along with that may be termed as the dust. Friction and collision of the particles form the disc-shaped cloud and the planets through the process of accretion. Accretion means the growth by the gradual accumulation of additional layers or a matter. Next we'll see about the modern theories which are related to the origin of the universe. The most of the popular argument and regarding the origin of the universe is the Big Bang theory. It is also called as the expanding universe hypothesis. And in 1920, Edwin Hubble provided the evidence that the universe is expanding. As the time passes, galaxies move further and further apart. The Big Bang theory considers the following stages in the development of universe. In the first stage, the tiny ball formed with a small volume and infinite temperature and the infinite density. And second stage in the Big Bang, tiny ball exploded very violently, and this led to a huge expansion. Within first 3 minutes from the Big Bang event, the first atom began to form. The Big Bang event took place 13.7 billion years from the present. Within 3 lakh years from the Big Bang event, the temperature dropped into the 4500 Kelvin, and that gave rise to the atomic matter, and then universe becomes transparent. The expansion of the universe means the increase in space between the galaxies. An alternative to this, the whole age concept was given, that is steady state. This steady state concept considered the universe to be roughly the same at any point of the time. Next we'll see about the formation of star. The distribution of matter and the energy was not even in earlier universe. Differences in the density and the gravitational forces that gave rise to the galaxy formation, and a galaxy contains a large number of stars. Galaxies are spread over the vast distance that are measured in the thousands of light years. The galaxies are start to form by the accumulation of the hydrogen gas in the form of a very large cloud called nebula. The growing nebula develops the localized clumps of gas, and these clumps continue to grow into the even denser gaseous bodies, and that giving rise to the formation of stars. The formation of stars is believed to have been taken place 5 to 6 billion years ago. Next we'll see about the formation of planets. The stars are localized lumps of a gas within a nebula, and the gravitational force within the lumps that leads to the formation of the gas cloud and a huge rotation disk of a gas, and dust develops around the gas core. And then the gas cloud start getting condensed, and the matter around the core is develops into the small round objects. And the small round objects, by the process called cohesion, develop, and it is called as the planetesimals. A larger body start forming by collision, and the gravitational attraction causes the material to stick together, and the planetesimals are the large number of smaller bodies. And this large number of small planetesimals accrete to form a fewer large bodies in the form of planets. Next we'll see about the solar system. Our solar system consists of the sun, the star, and 8 planets, and 63 moons, and millions of smaller bodies like asteroids and comets, and a huge quantity of the dust, grains and gases. Out of the 8 planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, these are the 4 planets are called as the inner planets, and the other 4 planets are called as the outer planets. The first 4 are called as the terrestrial, means earth like as they are made up of the rocks and metals and have relatively high densities, and the rest 4 are called as the Jovian or gas giant planets like Jupiter planet. All the planets were formed in the same period, about the 4.6 billion years ago. Next we'll see about the difference between the terrestrial and the Jovian planets. The terrestrial planets were formed in the close vicinity of a parent star where it was too warm for gases to condense the solid particles, where the giant planets were formed at a quite distant location. The terrestrial planets are smaller and their lower gravity could not hold the escaping gases. Next we'll see about the moon. The moon is the only natural satellite of the earth. In 1838, Sir George Darwin suggested that initially the earth and the moon formed a single rapidly rotating body, and the whole mass became a dumbbell bell shaped body, and eventually it broken. And it was also suggested that the material forming the moon was separated from what we have at present, depression occupied by the Pacific Ocean. Okay, next we'll see about the Ghent impact or the big splat theory. This theory considers that a body of the size of 1 to 3 times that of the Mars collide into the earth sometime shortly after the earth was formed. It blasts a large part of the earth into a space. This portion of a blasted material then continued to orbit the earth and eventually formed into the present moon about the 4.4 billion years ago. Next we'll see about the evolution of the earth. The planet Earth initially was a barren, rocky and a hot object with a thin atmosphere of a hydrogen and helium. Earth has a layered structure from the outermost end of the atmosphere to the center of the earth. The material that exists is not uniform. From the outermost end of the atmosphere to the center of the earth, the material that exists was not uniform. From the surface to deeper depths, the earth interior has different zones. Okay. Next we'll see about the evolution of lithosphere. During its primordial stage, the earth was mostly in volatile state. Due to the gradual increase in density, the temperature inside has increased. As a result, the material inside start getting separated depending on their densities. And this allowed the heavier materials sink towards the center of the earth and the lighter ones move towards the surface of the earth. With the passage of time, it cooled further and solidified and condensed into a smaller size, and that development of the outer surface in the form of crust. Starting from the surface to the central parts, we have layers like the crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. Next we'll see about the evolution of atmosphere and hydrosphere. The present composition of Earth atmosphere is contributed by the nitrogen and oxygen. There are 3 stages in the evolution of the present atmosphere. In the first stage is marked by the loss of primordial stage, and in the second stage the hot interior of the earth contributed to the evolution of the atmosphere. The hot interior of the earth contributed to the evolution of the atmosphere. And finally, in third stage, the composition of the atmosphere was modified by the living world through the process of photosynthesis. The early atmosphere with the hydrogen and helium is supposed to have been stripped off as a result of the solar winds. During the cooling of the earth, gases and water vapor were released from the interior solid earth, which started the evolution of the present atmosphere. And the continuous volcanic eruption contributed to the water vapor and gases. As the earth cooled, the water vapor released start getting condensed, and the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere got dissolved in rainwater, and the temperature further decreased, causing the more condensation and the more rains. The rainwater falling into the surface got collected in the diffraction to give rise to the oceans. The rainwater falling into the surface that got collected in the diffractions that give rise to the oceans. Okay, that's all about the origin and evolution of the earth. I hope you all have understood this topic. If this video helps you in any way, please subscribe, like, share and comment. Thank you.